everyone. I actually just filmed this entire video outside, and I finished it and everything, and the wind was too loud. And I tried to fix it, and I don't know how. I am not technologically inclined enough to figure out how to fix it all the way, so here I am filming it again. So if I sound like I'm reading off a script or something, it's because I literally just said it, and so it's in my head, and I've kind of memorized what I said before. I want to talk about decision paralysis today, and that's it. So let's get into it. Decision paralysis for me has impacted my life forever. And if you don't really know what decision paralysis is, it kind of is self-explanatory in the title, but I will explain it in case. It's basically extreme indecision. It's when you are paralyzed and can't make a choice when given options, at least in my situation, or that's how I've come to understand it, at least. And that's kind of what it feels like. You are literally paralyzed by choices, and if you're given too many choices, you're even more paralyzed by that. And that's kind of how I feel. And it's not like what to eat for breakfast in the morning, and well, I guess it could be. I'm really kind of using it in a bigger scope, I suppose, like in your life. I have decision paralysis about everything in my life. And the first time I filmed it, I kind of talked about how when you're younger and you're going to school and you're getting an education and you're going to college and you're getting your first job out of school, there's a bunch of these boxes that you're kind of put into, at least in my experience, and you have a lot of external influence just because that's kind of how it is when you're growing up. People influence you, social media influences you, you are just influenced in a lot of ways, and some people might not even realize they're doing it, but you do have a lot of external influence that can impact your choices and decisions and the boxes that you end up being in. And for the first time, I don't have any boxes that I have to fit into or that I have to try to fit into, I guess. Once I graduated college, it was kind of like the world was this oyster and I could choose anything that I wanted, which is great. That's awesome. That comes from a very privileged stance, and I know that. But just from what I'm experiencing, it's leading to decision paralysis about everything. About where I want my career to go, where I would like to live, who I would like to become, what my personality is, or what I want it to be, or how I want to dress, or how I want to be perceived by other people, or how I spend my time off of work. It's everything. And I've never really been able to make all of these choices at once. Obviously, with your personality and hobbies and things, you can. The wind really did a number on my hair, so just don't have a look. But it's overwhelming me, just because I don't know what I want to do with anything. I'm paralyzed by all of the choices. I could move to any city. I could keep my job. I could get a new job. I could go into a different industry. I could go back to school. I could live on my own. I could keep living where I'm living now. I could move across the country. There's just so many choices, and so many of them have so many pros and cons, and I want to do so many of them, but you have to pick a path, kind of, and so I'm paralyzed by the choices that I have right now, and I'm really trying to make these without external influence, which is really hard in today's society and forever, actually, because you just always have influence from people around you, or media outlets, or your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your uncle, whatever it might be, like, you are getting influence whether you like it or not, and sometimes it's for good and sometimes it's for bad. And no one in my life is, like, maliciously trying to like influence me one way or another. They're just like, do whatever you want, I don't care. And I'm fully aware of, like, manifesting and, like, creating the life that you want to be living, and I think that's amazing and awesome, and I want to desperately be doing that. But because of this decision paralysis, I don't know what I want, and I don't know where I want to go and what I want to do. So when people are like, just manifest it, or just, like, create what you want to, start doing what you want to do, I don't know what I want to do. So I feel stuck because I don't know what I want to do or where I want to go. I'm not confident in any of my choices because I don't know. And so I'm kind of trying to switch the lens inward instead of outward to try to find these things out. I don't know where to go. I kind of just wanted to make this video to, like, word vomit on all of you about how I'm feeling about this situation, and I'm sure other people that have been 23 before can relate to this, because it's like this new phase of life that you've never been in before, and you don't have, like, a bunch of boxes that you need to fit in. Sometimes other people's circumstances may be different than mine, but it's like for the first time you just can do whatever you want, but nobody, like, prepares you for that. You go your whole life being in school and being told what to do and what to do next and what the next step is and the next test and the next exam and the next everything. There's always, like, a next, and you kind of go forever with this next end goal in mind. But then once you graduate, that's just so many more options become open to you, and it's very hard for me right now to figure it all out. And it just feels like 23 is going to be a year of transformation for me, which is really funny because that's actually the word of the year. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you basically just pick a word that you're going to try to embody for a year. But that's the word that I picked. I picked transformation, and when I originally picked it, it was more like on the surface, health and fitness, image related, and things are definitely transforming. But it's not in the way that I originally anticipated them, and it just feels very much like this year is going to be transformative for me. At least I hope it is. I don't want to feel stuck forever. And I actually read a horoscope at the beginning of the year, which I know there's, depending on your views, there might not be validity in horoscopes, and usually I don't listen to them at all, but this one that I wrote, no, that's not right. This one that I read was like, this next year is going to be very evolutionary for, is that even correct? Basically, it's going to be very transformative, and there's going to come a lot of clarity, and there's going to be a lot of exploration for my sign. I don't know if I did it, like, for me specifically or just like a generalized one for my sign, but my zodiac sign. I can't remember. But I do feel that. I feel like that's actually happening, and I'm trying to explore every avenue and every part of my life, and I'm just trying to, like, I'm trying to pick a path or a certain path or whatever, and it's just not working so far, and I just don't know where to go. I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to do, and I'm trying not to let it get me down because I know that other people have experienced this too. I'm sure tons of people that have graduated from college feel lost, and there's, like, post-grad blues, and there's just a lot that goes into this season of life, even though I hate that phrase so much. It gives me the worst taste in my mouth, but there's a lot of newness, and I'm not really good with change, and I don't like how things are now, and I want them to be different, but I don't know what I want them to be that is different. So I'm just, like, I feel like life just keeps happening to me, and I'm not an active participant, and I want to work on being an active participant and choosing things that I want to do, things that I want to be, and so on and so forth. I want it to be me. I want it to be the life that I create and curate with my own decisions. And I don't know how to do that. And apparently this season is going to be learning how to do that. I know a lot of things that I don't like, but I don't know a lot of things that I do like. And I don't actually know if I like them or if someone else liked them and then I decided that was what I was going to pick too. I don't know. But I feel like I'm in this like cocoon. This is going down a path that I wasn't expecting, but I feel like I'm in this little cocoon and it's like slowly starting to explode and it's really uncomfortable feeling. Is this called a life an existential crisis? Am I having an existential crisis at 23? Maybe, but I have those like yearly, so I don't even know if this counts. This one is just very intense because everything is different than it ever was before, and I'm like trying to learn and grow and do a bunch of new things, but also try to figure out where I want my life to go. And I know I'm only 23 and I'm so young and I have so many years and I can figure it out for the rest of my life. But I'm really just trying to figure it out for myself and learn how to make choices for myself and decisions about things for myself. And a lens inward to what I want to do and who I want to be without as much external influence. And also, social media plays a big role in this because we now have access to so many people's different lives that we never had access to before, and that can cause a lot of like inferiority, feelings of inferiority, I suppose. And I should get off social media, which is funny because this is where I'm posting it, is social media. But I desperately want to make a life that I want and not what anybody else wants. I don't want somebody else's life. I don't want that. I want my own, which I have my own, but do you know what I mean? I'm just rambling at this point. Social media fosters a lot of comparison between people, and that's not really good because you don't need to be trying to live somebody else's life. You need to live your own life, and you need to live your own truth. I want to live my own truth. I'm just in the phase where I'm trying to figure out what my own truth is. So, I think that's all that I have to say. It was very rambly, made no sense probably, but if it touched you, if you relate to it, if it helped you in any way, I'm sure it probably didn't, but let me know. Tell me that you might relate to me. Comment, like the video even if you liked it or anything. I'm gonna go because I'm just gonna keep talking about random stuff if I don't. I don't know what the next video is gonna be about because I just randomly have thoughts and then make videos about them. So you'll be as surprised as I am to find out what I'm gonna talk about next. I also need to stop saying Can anyone like hold me accountable to that? I can like practice on these videos. Stop saying Again, I'm gonna go. And I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. See ya.